Hello friends, this is Sneha. Welcome back to Learn Programming with Sneha. So this is the second video from the Python series. What we are going to discuss today we are going to actually start programming with Python. So we are going to learn the very basic concepts of Python when you want to start writing programs in Python. There are few concepts that you need to learn before. So we are going to discuss today what are keywords, constants, variables in Python. Now, in order to write this programs or in order to work this Python, you need to install Python first. Okay, so in the description box, I have mentioned a link from where you can download Python 3.9. When you download it, it is very easy to install it. So once you install Python 3.9, along with this, you will get the integrated development learning environment, that is IDLE. And what we are going to do is today we are going to work with this IDLE itself. So with IDLE, we are going to write we are trying to work with this constants, variables, and few operators in Python. So let's start. So what we are going to discuss, what we are going to start with is we are going to first start with something called as keywords. Okay. So let's start programming with Python. So what we are going to do, what we are going to learn today in this video is we'll see what are keywords, constants, variables in Python. Along with that, in order to display the values of these variables, we are going to use the functions, that is print, in order to take the input from the user. To initialize your variables, we are going to use input function. So let's start with the basic thing that we need to understand before we start programming. It's keywords. So as the name suggests, keywords are nothing but the reserved words. So reserved words are the words whose meaning is already known to the interpreter or it is already known to the compiler. So keywords are generally in small case letters, but there are three keywords which have first letter capital in Python, that is none, true, and false. So when you will learn or when you will program in the particular language, for that particular language, there are the set of reserved words given whose meaning is already known to the compiler and the interpreter. And we as a programmer cannot change that meaning. So we have to use it as it is. So in Python 3.9 or in Python 3, there are 33 keywords available. Now this number can vary slightly over the course of time. So as we have the coming versions of Python, this number will change. This number may change. Right now at the moment in Python 3, we have 33 keywords available. Just have a look which are those keywords. So these all are the keywords which are available right now in Python 3. So when you will learn Python, across the period of time, you will learn with a new concept, you will learn what are these keywords and where to use, how to use. Right now, just try to concentrate on what are keywords, which are nothing but the reserved words available in a particular language. Here, these are the words, keywords which are available in Python. Let's proceed. Now, after keywords, now we understood what are the keywords. Now let's try to understand what are the constants. As the name suggests, constant is the value which cannot be changed. So it is a value which we have to use as it is. We cannot change this value. So this constant value will remain same even after executing your program several number of times. The example is whatever value you take, like you take the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. You take the alphabets ABCD, you take the decimal point values. Okay, whatever values you say, the value cannot be changed. Like if I say 5, 5 will remain 5 only. I cannot change the value of this 5, right? So it is a constant. If I take alphabet A, meaning of this or the value of this A will remain A only. I cannot make this A as B, or I cannot make this 5 as 15, right? So the value cannot be changed. So this is known as constant. So in the example, as I have shown, the constant values can be anything, right? So it can be a single character or it can be even the character number of or the collection of characters closed in the quotes. So these all are called as literal constants. These values will remain same wherever or whenever you use it. Okay, so constant is nothing but the value which cannot be changed. Now, on the other hand, for example, now whatever is this constant, for example, if I say 10, now 10 is a value for this, but what is the type of this 10? So the type of this 10 or every data, whatever you are using is having some or the other type. So if I say 10, what is the type of this 10? It is a whole number. So in programming, this whole number is known as an integer. And in Python, this integer is nothing but, or it is known as int. So whenever I say int, it means I'm talking about a whole number which do not have the decimal point or which do not have a fraction. When I have a collection of characters which is enclosed in quotes, it is known as string in programming. In Python, this type is str. So str stands for string, which is a collection of characters. Then if we have a number with a decimal point or the fraction, this is called as a real number, or it is also known as float. So the type is float. When we work with the types like true, false, right, it is known as Boolean in programming, and in Python the data type is bool. So constant is the value which cannot be changed, but every constant is having some type. This type is called as a data type. So whenever you use any constant in the programming, this data type or the type of this data particular constant value matters a lot, right? So here, these are some of the data types or few of the basic data types I have covered, that is int, str, float and bool, which you are going to use initially. Okay, later there are many more composite data types or the collection data types as well available in Python that you will be learning with the course of time when we'll go for that particular topic. So right now we are going to concentrate on this topics or this data types. Okay, so we understood what are the keywords, what are the constants, what are the types of these constants which are known as data types. Now the thing is, if I want to use or if I want to work with any of this type, okay, let's try to use or let's try to work on this type. So as I said, this is IDLE. Okay, so using this IDLE, that is integrated development learning environment, we can write our Python programs. See, later in order to write the Python programs, we are going to use PyCharm. Okay, but in case of Python programming, if you don't want to write the programs which consist of the lines of code, or it is a single line of code that you want to execute, you can do it through your command prompt or you can do it through your IDLE as well. So constants are the values which we can directly use. Like if I say 10 here, so I'm getting value 10. Okay, I cannot change the value of 10 to something. So these are called as constants. So it can be a whole number, which is known as int. Okay. In order to know what is the type of this value, in Python, we have something called as type. Okay, what you can do is you can just give type and in bracket just pass the value and it will tell you what is the type of this. Okay, so you can see when I say type 10, I'm getting a type as int. If I give type, that is if I give a value 56.7, which is a fraction value, so I'm getting a type as float. As we discussed the basic data types, so the whole number is known as integer, the fractional numbers are known as floats or the type is float. If you have anything which is enclosed in quotes, if I say Python, so the collection of characters in Python known as string, so the type is str. If you give a type that is true or false, okay, so true or false, these are the keywords, right? So if I say type of true, I'm getting bool, which is a Boolean type. So which will either give you like in real life example, if I say when we want to take some decisions, okay, or if there is a question, so the answer can be yes or no. So in programming, yes means true and no means false. So these are the keywords and these types, this yes, no or true, false, the type is known as Boolean, whereas the data type available in Python is bool. Okay, so these are the different types. The value of this cannot be changed. True will remain true only, so I can say it is constant. 10 will remain 10 only, so I can say this is constant. Okay. Now, if I say I want to work with some numbers, so if I say 10 plus 20, so I'm using this plus. Everyone is aware with the operators like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, right? So if I want to work with this constants, I can directly use it as 10 plus 20. So let's say I'm going to get value 30, right? But if I want to perform this operation again, compulsory I have to give it again, right? Or if I say now 10 plus, I want to give some other value, then I have to give that value there, right? But whatever are these values or these constant values we are using here in the computer's memory, it is stored somewhere, right? And we are trying to access this value from that memory. But as I said, these are the constant values. The values will never change. So when I say 10 plus 20, I'm going to get output as, or the value as 30 only. When I will use 10 plus 30, I'm going to get the result as 40 only, right? But what if I want to perform this addition on the numbers, which I will take at runtime, okay? Or which I will store somewhere else. So we have a concept in programming called as variables. So in variables, these constant values, whichever what we want to use, can be stored in a variable. As the name suggests, variable, the value can vary. Let's see what are these variables and how to use it. So variables are nothing but, see, as I said, whenever we talk about any constant, these constants are stored in the memory. Okay, so whatever it is, whether it is a whole number, whether it is integer, whether it is float, whether it is boolean, whether it is a string. So to store all these constant values, the memory location is required. Now, if I say, okay, 10 is stored somewhere in the memory. So through a variable, we can give name to this memory location. We can give some name to this location. So whatever name that you give to this memory location where the value is stored is known as variable. So variable is a container to store the value. Using a variable, you can store any type of value there. So variable is just a name given to the memory location. So if you want to access value 10, you can access it as 10. But if you want to access the value which is present in that location, so how to access that location? So to that access that location or the memory location, we can give some name over there. So this name, whatever name I have given here, num, is known as a name of the variable. And whatever is this 10, this is known as a value. Okay, so value is stored in the memory, and whatever name you give to this memory location is known as a variable name. Now in Python, when we want to use this variable name, so we understood what is a variable. In order to use this variable, okay, how to use this variable in Python. So in Python, as we have already discussed in the last video, that Python is a dynamically typed language. So when I say Python is a dynamically typed language, that means I don't have to specify the type of the value I'm going to store in that variable before. How? Let's see. So how? For example, if I say I want value 10, okay, but 10 value will remain same. So I cannot change it. So it is stored somewhere in the memory. So wherever 10 is stored, I want to give some location name. I want to give some name to that memory location. So we can make use of variable. How to use it? Whatever name that you would like to give, say equal to, just assign the value. If I say num equal to 10. So now if I just want to access what is the value in num, so I'll say num and I'll get value as 10. Okay, so 10 is a value which is stored somewhere in the memory, and in order to access that value which is stored in a particular memory location, we have given name as num. So in Python, we don't have to specify that num is a variable name of type of which data type. We don't have to specify that num is an integer or a float or a character or a string or a boolean. We can directly give a name and we can directly assign the value. Okay, so here if I try to use, now I'm getting value for num is 56.56, whatever is the value I have assigned. Okay, so in Python, as it is a dynamically typed language, we cannot, we do not have to specify the name of the or the data type over there. You can directly assign the value. the type of your variable will be the value whatever of the type you have assigned. So now if you just try to check the type of num, you will get the type is float because now I have assigned value float there. If I say num equal to, let's say 10, and now if I try to check what is the type of num, I'm going to get the, what is the type of num? So I'm going to get the value as int. Okay. So num is a name given to the memory location, which is called as variable. Why variable? Because the value varies. Initially value was 10, then value became 56.56, then again it became 10. So I'm modifying value of that particular variable, right? So that's the reason it is num. It is variable. Now, what name we can give to the variable while defining variable? What name we can give? So yes, there are rules. Now, what are these rules? So the variable name can consist of alphabets or digits or a special symbol underscore. Okay. Alpha, it can consist of characters, that alphabets, the numbers. You can give even numbers. So I can give num1 equal to something. So it is allowed. So variable name can be a combination. It can be alphanumeric. So you can use a combination of characters and the number. It can even, like if I want a roll number, it can even use underscore, which is a special character, which is allowed in the name of the variable. So if my variable name consists of 2 words, so how to separate these 2 words? So we can separate it using underscore. Okay. So we can assign some value here. The only thing is the way you have declared the variable, you have to use it exactly same way. It is case sensitive. Python is case sensitive language. So in whichever case you have declared the variable, in the same case you have to use it. Like I may declare this variable this way as well, roll no, where n is capital, no underscore, right? So I have to use it exactly that way in order to get that particular value. Okay. So it can be alphabets, small case, capital case, both are allowed. It can hold digit 0 to 9. It can even hold a special symbol underscore. Okay. But whatever name that you give, it can start with alphabets and then I can use a number. But your variable name cannot start with a number. Like I cannot declare a variable called as one num. Okay. If you try to use it as one num, okay, you will get a syntax error. So your variable name cannot start with a number. Your variable name can start with an underscore. Okay, so I can use it as underscore num as well. It is possible, right? So it is possible to use it as underscore something. So we can use this underscore anywhere. It can start with underscore. You may have underscore somewhere in between. You may end it with underscore. You can use numbers, but your variable name cannot start with a number. You cannot use space while using the variable name. It cannot include space. So as I said, special symbol, only underscore is allowed. Other than underscore, you cannot use any other special symbol. Okay, so not even a space. So these are some of the rules that you need to take care while declaring a variable or while defining a variable. There is no any rule like you have to, if you have a variable which is holding a integer value, now you cannot assign some other value. Your variable is holding integer value right now. On the next statement, if I assign a string value or a boolean value or a float value, it is absolutely possible in Python. So we can assign some different type of values as well to the variable. It is allowed in Python. Okay, so this is something about a variable. So as we have seen, when you declare the variable, at the same time you can assign the value. So this is also called as defining a variable. You just have to give a variable name, at the same time assign the value, at the same time it will create it in the memory and it will assign that value to that memory location. Whenever you want to access this memory location, you just have to access it through the variable name. Okay, so we have seen if I want to display the values in Python, okay, we have directly given the variable name and it was displaying the value. But if you want to display it like, okay, number is equal to something, or if you want to perform some addition or something, and if you want to display that, okay, for example, if I say num1 is equal to 10, num2 is equal to 20, and I want to provide a addition. So what I can do is I can say result equal to num1 plus num2. So this res variable is holding my result and it is giving me value 30, right? So all these are the variables. In variable num1 I have stored value 10. In variable num2 I have stored value 20. To perform this addition, if you want, you can just give num1 plus num2. Still I'll get the output as 30. Okay. But what will happen is if I want to perform this addition again I have to say num1 plus num2. Instead, if I want, I can store it somewhere. So I have stored it in a variable res. So later, even if I want to use just res, I'm going to get the value 30. That is addition. But see, now it is just giving me 30. But what I want is I want to print it as, okay, addition equal to 30. So when you want to print something in Python, we have a ready-made function given called as print. Print is a function available in Python. It is followed by round brackets. And inside this round bracket, whatever you want to display as it is on the screen, you can put it in a quote. Whether you give it in double quotes, whether you give it in small quotes, whether single quotes, whether you give it in triple quotes, everything is allowed. So I want to give addition is equal to, okay, so whatever you give in quotes will be displayed as it is on the screen. After this, I want to display the value of a variable. So this string is separated using a comma followed by a name of the variable. So when I say addition equal to res, I'm going to get addition equal to displayed as it is on the screen. And for res, I'm going to get value 30. Okay. If I want to take this value from the user, like number of times now you say num1 plus num2, you are going to get 30 only because num is 10, num2 is 20. What if I want to take these values from the user? Okay, I'll ask user, okay, enter the value, whatever user is going to enter, I'm going to use that value. So let's see how to do that. So what I have to do is where you want to store the value. Okay, if I say the variable n1, so in order to take the input from the user, I have to give the function input followed by round brackets. And inside this, you have to, if you do not pass message, it will not display anything. So you will not understand what you want to enter, right? So you can specify the string. You can specify the message. Enter the value. Okay. Now it will give me, okay, enter the value. If I say 10, then I'll say into input, enter the value. It will say enter the value. Now I'll enter 20. Now the problem will be, if I say res equal to n1 plus n2, and now I'm trying to display res, I'm going to get value 1020 instead of 30. Yeah. So what is the problem? So the problem is when you enter the value, by default, it is going to consider this as a string. String is nothing but the collection of characters. So it is not treating this 10 as value 10, but it is treating this 10 as 10. It is treating this 20 as 20. So the addition of 1020. Okay, so that's the reason we are getting this value. Now, how to make it 30? Okay, so for that, we need to change the type from string to integer. How to do that? That we are going to discuss in the next video. Okay, so here I've just shown you if I want to take the input from the user, how we can take it using the function input, where you just have to pass the message. If you do not pass message, for example, if I say just input, down bracket, it will not give me the message. Okay, but it is prompting me to enter the value. So now if I enter the value high, and now if I say n, I'm going to get high for n. Okay, so if you do not give any message, it won't display anything. So that is input. Now, the last topic we want to discuss in this particular video is, now when we are working with variables, okay, so in the variable is stored somewhere in the memory. So what if I want to access the value of that memory location wherever it is stored? So there is a function called as id through which I can access the value of the memory location where my variable is stored. How? Let's see. Okay, so what I have to do is I'll say variable a is equal to 10. Okay, so a value of a is 10. In order to know what is the location number, wherever it is stored in the memory, it is having some address. In order to get the address of that particular variable a, we have a function id. To id, if I just pass this a, I'm getting some number. Okay, so you just have to remember the function that id is used to know the location number. Don't worry, there is no need to remember this number. Okay, so this number, whatever we have generated, it is a random number wherever the variable a is stored in the memory. This can change during the further executions. Okay, so we don't have to rely on this number, or we don't have to remember this number, but we just have to understand that in order to access the location number, or in order to access the address of a variable, we have a function id. Now let's see one more thing. If I say b equal to 20, and I want to know what is the address of b, I'll say id b, and you will get some different value. You can see the values are different, right? Now, but if I say value c is equal to 20, okay, again I'll say value c is equal to 20. So now if I try to display id of c, see, ID of A was something else, ID of B was something else. But when I say ID of C, you can see the ID of B and ID of C are same. The reason is variable B and variable C both are holding the same values. And that is the reason the memory location address of both variables are same. Okay, if I say D is equal to 10, which is the value of my variable A, and now if I try to display ID of D, you will see the ID of D is the same as the ID of A. So in Python, if you have different variables holding the same value, so it won't be creating the separate memory location for all variables, but it will check that, okay, you want to assign value 10. So it will check, okay, in the memory, do I already have a memory location with value 10? If yes, that variable is going to refer to that memory location. So there will be a single memory location present with value 10, which is having two names. One is A and second is D. There will be a single location present in the memory with value 20, whose name and then variable names will be, or through which you can access that, is B as well as C. So you can access this 20 location by using either B or C. Okay, but it depends, or it is available only for a particular range. For example, if I say, okay, A is equal to 256, ID of A is this. Okay, B is equal to 256 and the ID of B is, can you see, the ID is same, right? But now if I say A is equal to 257, ID of A of course will be something else now because the value is changed. But let's try to assign the same value for B as well, and let's try to check the ID. Now, can you see, even if the values are same for 257, I'm getting the different IDs. That means the location is changed. So your variable names or your variables are going to share the same location only for the range 0 to 256. If the value crosses 256 and if you try to store 257 onwards, your variables are going to create the separate memory locations. So now the memory location for A with value 257 will be something else, and the memory location for B with the same value 257 will be something else. So in Python, it shares the location only for the range 0 to 256. Beyond 256 or from 257 onwards, it is not going to share the same location. Discussed about keywords, variables, constants, ID, type, print and input functions. So in the next video, we'll be working more with this input function. We'll be working with more with variables and the operators. We'll try to see what are the different operators which are available in Python. So we'll be using editor, that is PyCharm. In the description box along with Python 3.9, I'll also mention the link for PyCharm from where you can download and install PyCharm. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you.